Look, if the Medici's got their turtle a Pope hat, I think that you can get Kumo cat a Pope hat. Courtney's history tour of the Medicis today.
So, the Medicis, despite their name, which actually means doctors, they were bankers, and so that's how they got their fortune. And they pretty much, at a certain point, more or less owned Florence because there was sort of a rivalry at one point between who was going to mint the currency of Florence, and the Medicis won. So if you mint the currency for the city, you pretty much own the city. Like, you are in charge of all the currency and everything. So then at a little bit later, the Cosmo the Elder did a bunch of stuff to build up Florence. He invested in a lot of art, a lot of public works, a lot of churches, because churches at the time would provide the aid to the homeless and the sick, and the churches ran all of those establishments. So investing in the churches was the same as investing in like social programs. So he did all that and basically raised Florence up to the level of being, the place where it was at the beginning of the Renaissance. So at the beginning of the Renaissance, his grandson was then in charge, and that was Lorenzo the Magnificent. At that time, it was actually a little bit before Lorenzo de' Medici. So at the time when Lorenzo's uncle was ruling Florence, the Borgia Pope Alexander Sextus, decided that he wanted to unite Italy under the Roman rule. So he wanted Naples, Milan, Venice, and Florence to all be under Roman rule.
Naples at the time
Naples was a huge part of Italy. So, and Rome was not. So it was very ballsy for him to try to do this. But so from that point on, there was this tension between Rome and Florence because of how close Rome and Florence are relatively to each other. And Rome was constantly trying to get Florence under their control. And the reason that Florence was able to avoid it was because for a long time they were wealthier than Rome, and they lent money to Rome. And that was another reason why Rome wanted to get them under their control, because if they could do that, then they didn't have to pay back that debt. Mm-hmm. So they, but Lorenzo de' Medici was a lot of historians say the sole reason that Florence during the Renaissance period did not fall under Roman rule. And because of that, Florence was seen as this independent, artistic center, and where there was freedom that you couldn't get in Rome, mm-hmm. where art was celebrated for the sake of art, and there was a lot of things that one of the things, for example, was sodomy wasn't really prosecuted in the same way that it was in Rome. Pretty much it was a don't ask, don't tell kind of thing. So the artists could do as they please. The Medicis were obviously providing a lot of money and a lot of patronage to all the artists. So with that whole thing, during that period comes the Palazzo conspiracy. And that was when a group of families, including, like, the main one being the Pazzis actually initiated it because they were in Florence at the time, and they were tired of the Medicis being in control for whatever reason. They wanted to be in control of things. And so they went to the Pope and they were like, hey, we want to try to overthrow the Medicis. And the Pope wrote them this like really ambiguous response that was like, hey, I don't actually officially support this, but if you were to do it, like, if you are successful, I will provide armies to help you maintain control, basically. But I don't officially endorse it. We should go this way. What happened was there were well, maybe I'll stop that for now, and then I'll pick it up when we're in the cathedral so you can actually see the place where it took place. So I'll explain the rest of the Pazzi conspiracy at that point. So, yeah. So you'll see when we go in there that there's a lot of stuff that's not like it's secular art.
Yeah.
Because it was about
The Medicis and Florence and their glory.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is interesting, I think. You would expect it to be all religious in a church, but
it's different.
So that's the clock I was telling you about. It's a really interesting clock. It tells you the hour since the last service given by the highest member, like that was overseen by the highest member of like this church, like the highest member of the body of the church, which I think is an archbishop, but I'm not entirely sure. So
that was actually a demon being exercised. They're just like, price it on. And it's gone.
So, like these frescoes, for example, they're made to look like statues, right? These are of two different captains of the Florence.
Like the army or guard?
Exactly. And this is the one that captured, like, who conquered Pisa, and I think that one is the one that conquered Lucca.
Okay.
So basically, when you came in, they wanted you to be like, hey, remember how strong we are? We conquered these cities. So
we're awesome.
Yeah.
You're not. Don't mess with us. We'll conquer your city too. Either with money or war power.
Yeah. Dante.
Oh, okay.
So he has the back of...
Oh, the seven circle. Is that? Yeah, okay. Now I see it.
And then Florence is over there too. Because it's like...
Dante has a house in Florence.
Yeah, Dante
So
lived in Florence for like most of his life.
Okay. So it's Dante.
So it's like celebrating like the cultural history of Florence. But that was painted actually a good deal after his death.
And there's the dome.
Yeah. I'm sure there has to be a place where we can get a better look at it, right? Like, I'm not sure now.
It's so close to Easter. That might be why. It's so close to Easter. They're cleaning tourists. It's neat.
So I guess to continue the Pazzi conspiracy narrative, so the plan for the Pazzis, there was they had the Roman armies waiting outside the gates of Florence, and there were two main people in here, and their plan was on Sunday, like during the mass, they were going to stab Lorenzo de' Medici and Giuliano de' Medici, who's like Lorenzo's brother, and kill them, and then they would have control of Florence. So it's pretty ballsy.
That's, stabbing someone during mass in the church that they built.
Yeah. So they stabbed both Lorenzo de' Medici and Giuliano de' Medici. They killed Giuliano. They only injured Lorenzo. The bishop, who was at the front, grabbed Lorenzo de' Medici and whisked him away into one of the side chapels and locked the door, saved his life. And then the rest of the Florentines, who loved the Medicis, I mean, the Medicis were loved in Florence. And I think that for the most part, people recognized that the reason that they weren't under Roman rule was because of the Medicis. So immediately they seized the Pazzi's, and it was basically like, even though Lorenzo and the other Medicis were like, no, this isn't the way to do this, like, let's not, they have to go through the proper channels, they were lynched. They hunted down the rest of the family, like, systematically, and, like, I mean, those who weren't in Florence were okay, but the families, like, even the families who, even the members of the family who weren't, directly involved in the conspiracy were still killed. One of the things is, like, the main conspirators, his two sons, like, two young sons, were killed, and then their bodies were hung in the Piazza di Signoria. And so, like...
But I like how the Medicis were like, no, we need to go about this calmly, like, we need to let the legal system, even though they're the ones attacked.
I sort of feel like it was more about, oh no, don't, please don't.
True.
I mean, we don't know. It's hard to say at this point, like, how much they were serious about it or
One of the
not.
bodies hanged, taken down, beaten, thrown into the river,
one of the,
taken back out the river.
It was hung, taken down, beaten, burned, beheaded. The head was beaten, thrown into the river, retrieved from the river, beaten again, and then thrown back into the river, I think.
So there's some serious Medici love going on.
So yeah,
at the time
they did
in
not
Florence.
like those people. And the Pazzi name was, they eradicated every mention of a Pazzi in the entire city. Like, their name was scratched out everywhere. And of course now, after the Medicis, the Medici dynasty ended, the Pazzis returned to Florence, and of course that was sort of overturned, and now you will find their name. Like, we're going to dinner actually at Osteria dei Pazzi. So you will find their name places, but it's not nearly, like, there used to be streets named after them, just like there's like the Via de' Medici, there used to be like the Via de' Pazzi, but that no longer exists because the Medicis renamed those streets. So.
Nice. Intrigue, conspiracy, murder.
I think it's like the real life, like, Red Wedding.
Basically,
it's like
it
the
sounds
closest
like it.
thing because
yeah,
to
super dramatic.
Conspire to assassinate someone in the middle of a mass on Sunday, like, that's insane. I mean, was so taboo that it's like beyond comprehension.
Which is also probably why there was such a strong backlash against them too, because not only was it,
and they dragged them out of the church before they killed them.
Yeah,
they didn't
kill them in the church. Like, not only like was like the lynching against people that the town liked in front of the town, it was in the church on a holy day during a worship ceremony. And I wonder what was going through their heads after like that failed and they were being dragged out of the church.
They had
Not much. Didn't have a lot of time to think about it.
they had the armies of Rome waiting outside the gates of Florence, and so the plan was they were like, hey, once you get rid of the Medicis, you send word to us and we will come in. So it's possible that they might have been successful if the armies of Rome had come in with them from the beginning, but they didn't, and they never got word back from them, so they just like went away, like went back to Rome, and they're like, okay, clearly something bad happened, we're just gonna like back up, we were never here. And so
Nice. We didn't have a hand in this at all.
Yeah.
We're completely innocent. Alright, so we are headed to the oil shop for lunch. So hopefully they haven't sold out of bread or anything like that.
they've actually gotten a lot better at that. Like they they don't sell out as quick. I guess they keep
Up their
stocks. Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. We passed it earlier, so we just did the cathedral and we went down in the crypts. That's pretty cool. The cathedral is free. The crypts are you have to pay, but you can get like a ticket that covers like the crypts and the dome.
You can get a ticket for €15 and it covers the dome, the campanile, the crypts, and the museum.
Yeah, so
Which is a
pretty good
Yeah,
deal.
it's a pretty good deal.
That's like Philly.
Yeah, we of course got the Frenze card, so that's also covered with the Frenze card. But police. So we're gonna go try and head up the oil shop for lunch, and then do some other stuff
Yep.
later. I'll probably take off my sweater because it's hot, but I had to wear it to get in the church because my bare shoulders mark me as a Jezebel.
Yes.
So,
No mind
yeah.
about it.
There were multiple people that got all the way to the front of the line and were turned away from the church because they were showing their shoulders or wearing or showing their knees. Yeah. So shoulders, knees got to be covered, men and women. So you can't wear a tank top as a man and get away with it. Also bellies, cover your belly. Sometimes they get stickly about that too.
Yeah.
And yeah. So oil shop time. So this is the oil shop. They have sandwiches, and you pick a sandwich, and they make it for you, and you eat it, and then you're happy. Doot, doot, doot. So I just wanted to show you why you get the Frenze card. Those red things right there, that's the entrance to the museum. And this is the line to get in to see it. But since we have the Frenze card, we skipped it. We skipped that entire line. So seeing the David is $12.50. So if you want to keep track, getting into all the stuff around the Duomo is $15. Seeing the David is $12.50. So you can easily make up the value of your Frenze card. In addition, you get to skip this line. So you're saving time.
I mean,
you're saving,
that pays for itself.
yeah, the line skipping. You're saving wear and tear on your feet from just standing there that you could be using to look at
How many
statues.
we have spent waiting in line
Like, look.
between like all the different things? that
Yeah, to like walk up in the tower to do this,
When you really
like
think about it, the David's really the only thing worth looking
true.
at there.
Like I mean,
Now we can hit the high spots.
yeah, you can hit the highlights because Florence is an amazing place for Renaissance art, especially. It's just like filled with it. Like they stick like fantastic Renaissance paintings in like back corners because they just have too many.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so you really want to be able to move around and hit the high spots because they're not all in one place. Like you've got the Uffizi, you've got the David, you've got the baptistry, you've got the tower, you've got the chapel of the Duomo itself. Like you've got so many places, and the Botanic Gardens. You got these highlights that you need to hit, or that you might want to hit as a tourist, and not waiting in hour-long lines, especially during the tourist season, like the high part in the summer. because these lines aren't the summer lines yet. Like not.
Yeah, these aren't even
These
like
aren't
the
even-
high season lines. Yeah.
Yeah, not waiting for hours in lines, like, and getting your admission is a pretty good deal. So,
Yeah.
I feel like he did at the time. And they told me just to strip, and then there it is. That's the story, man.
so this David, you know, he's based on our David. This is the primo David of all the Davids that you see.
So these were unfinished Michelangelos that he was actually doing for the Pope.
Oh yeah.
And they're actually really interesting because they are sort of, he was going in a little bit of a different direction the last years of his life, but of course he never finished these pieces,
So yeah, this is just, you know, Michelangelo artwork. It's not like it's a big deal or anything. It's not like he's a master of anything, except
it's like they are literally like emerging from the replicas.
yeah. It's pretty crazy to see how, like, his sculpting technique. It reveals so much about his sculpting technique.
Yeah.
And how he made these figures just emerge from the marble
Yeah.
and come to life. And then, of course, at the end is the David, which there are many Davids around Florence, but this is like the David. It's the one that used to be near the Uffizi, and
What's really interesting is this piece of marble was like so far from being an ideal slab of marble. It had like sat in the sun for like 40 years, and two other artists had started to sculpt with it and then rejected it because they said the marble was so low quality that they couldn't work with it. And
Yeah.
it was extremely, if you look from the side, you'll see it was a very narrow piece. So the poor quality of the marble and the limitations of the slab make it like that much more amazing.
Yeah,
than
so he
was
had
able to produce.
significant challenges to overcome to make one of the most well-known and best sculptures, well, arguably best sculptures in existence. And but it's been moved in here. It was outside. It's been moved in here to preserve it, basically, and also give it a really grand area so you can come and look at it in all of its grandeur.
Oh shit, I forgot. I have a project coming up where I have to design a gift shop
Oh,
that
cool.
is supposed to be housed right here.
Yeah?
So I have to take pictures of the structure. So
Oh, good. Well, it's good that we're here.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I totally
perfect.
forgot until just now.
So, this is impressive.
Sorry.
What do you think, babe?
Pretty cool.
It's insane. Did you hear about Courtney saying that this is a non-ideal piece of marble and that two other sculptors had rejected it?
Yeah.
And then Michelangelo comes along and says, well, you know, whatever, your technique is just not good enough, basically. And I'm going to take this imperfect piece of marble and sculpt the most perfect sculpture out of it.
Yeah, I heard.
So, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool.
So, this is the David, and it's the David. Like, you'll see a few around Florence, but this is Michelangelo's David. The one that was in the original place now, like we said, it is a copy of this David, and it was moved in here to protect the original. This statue was moved in here to protect it. But this is a really cool museum. I'm really excited to see this.
Oh, it's really cool.
So I'm going to stop filming so I can, like, kind of fangirl over it. So we're in the original Medici house. That's the crest right there. So what it pronounce the words? Pronounce it for us again?
The Signoria, Piazza di Signoria.
Yeah, which means the piazza of the government.
The government.
Because the Medicis built this, and they're like, you know, we'll just give this to the government. Not quite grand enough for us, likely, but they lived right next door. They built another mansion type thing. That's not really, like, mansion is understatement for what the Medicis
I mean, it's
do.
a palazzo, which means palace.
It's that's probably a better word, palace. But they lived right next door because technically the Medicis also were the government, but so it's pretty cool. It was neat. Yeah, we're trying to find the entrance now. We'll find it. Once again, Garrett is showing his knowledge of the museums in Florence, like his uncanny knowledge, which just proves me right that what they did underway on the submarine was study Florentine art museums.
Yeah, the more
I told you.
Stuff like this, the less and less far-fetched that becomes.
Like, that's what they do on American submarines, is study Florentine art museums. And as you see, he's not technically denying it, so.
If you denied it, I don't know, it might give us some doubt. He can't say yes, though, because then that'd be giving away secrets.
Right.
So he's playing it cool. We're on the end. I've watched YouTube.
We know. We watched the YouTube.
Yeah. No more stairs.
It's not as bad as the stairs yesterday.
You can't do anything.
We can go in here. Is it open?
Alright, why didn't you tell us that, Garrett?
For real, Garrett. I know why he didn't tell us that, because then it would confirm it's too much knowledge. So basically we have to take our forensic card and scan it in the ticket office and get another paper ticket, which
I guess we should know by now.
well, not all of the museums do it. So, as you know, back to what David was saying about everything in Italy being slightly inconvenient.
Yeah, we've never straight gone somewhere and then had it like work out. We've already been told to go back and forth a few times.
When we went to the academy, that worked out, and we just got to scan the forensic card.
That was,
but like at other places, they're like, no, you have to go get like a paper ticket with your forensic card.
They told us no, we have to go get the paper ticket, and then the paper ticket told us no, we have to go to the office. To baptistry, and then the baptistry's like no.
No, you definitely have to go get the paper ticket.
With that fountain, it's like
It's pretty excellent. Yeah, so just when you tour Italy, just expect everything to be slightly inconvenient for you.
It's going to start bothering you after promise.
Just slightly, but now that we've scanned our really nice plastic card and they've given us a flimsy paper receipt, we can get into the museum. So that's how it's going. So we're going back up the stairs to get into the museum because we really wanted to climb some more stairs today.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do.
We got our exercise yesterday. We just haven't gotten it fully today.
We need more steps. I mean, we only climbed like 35 stairs.
Yeah. So
like 35 like floors. Yesterday. Not quite enough. You know, it's just a casual day. Appreciating some Renaissance artwork. Yeah. These cherubs are holding the Medici crest. Yep. A crown above the Medici crest. I mean, I think we should play the game of like how many Medici crests can you count? What do we? That's terrifying. Is that a Cerberus or Cerberus? It's one of my favorite mythological creatures.
Cerberus is awesome.
Three-headed dogs are awesome. Oh yeah. It's recreated in the.
it's a recreation because this is actually.
It's recreated in the Disney store as well in Florence.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's true. How could we be?
It's the.
Look at that lady holding his breast.
Yeah, the crack over here that they've just put some plaster over. So we found like a little rooftop patio. Well, it's not really a rooftop, but.
That's still Santa Croce. Never mind, no points. David is trying to throw me off.
Well,
Nice view.
it has to be like right there. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, it has to be right there. But isn't that... Oh, look at the synagogue.
No.
Is it right?
It's like right
Okay, I was going to say, where's the front?
This is like a nice view,
Yeah,
you know,
I was gonna say,
if you don't want to climb a huge tower, if you have maybe like vertigo or something,
I know.
you know,
I'm
and
gonna climb the
you
tower
want
now.
a good view.
I'm still going to climb the tower. You can see the, whatchamacallit. What's that one church?
San Miniato.
Yeah. That
I was actually going to take y'all there on Sunday.
Oh, cool.
So you
Because
can
there's
see,
a lot of things that are going to be closed on Sunday, but pretty sure San Miniato will
So
be open.
San Miniato is
Yeah.
on top of that hill. And it doesn't
I
look like
see
it's
it.
far away now, but that's going to be a little bit of a hike to get up there.
Courtney drugged me when I was here first time.
Oh, okay.
Like somewhere across the river, up like a bunch of death stairs, and that was
Yeah,
awesome.
there's some death stairs.
The view was pretty worth
yeah,
it.
'cause we did it at night too. So
Oh, even better.
And
even more deathy.
yeah, it was super deathy.
Oh, did you guys see the graveyard though?
No, she didn't. I don't know if I
Oh, that's
actually
what
took
you
her. I might have only taken her to the piazza. I don't know if I took her
Oh, okay.
to San Miniato. So we
I
have
don't
to see
remember
the
that,
graveyard.
So I don't
The
remember
graveyard
that.
is pretty
So
cool. The guy who wrote Pinocchio's buried there. It was my goal to find him.
And you
And
did.
we did. By accident. You're like, hey.
So we're in part of the tower, which is pretty cool. We had to wait a while, but it's really nice.
We got up here.
The view's pretty good. And whoa, that's all the way down. And we got here pretty late in the day, so this was actually our last thing planned until dinner at 9:30. So like waiting wasn't a big deal. Climbing the tower is one of the lines you can't skip with the forensic guard.
If you can tell me what building that is.
I think it's the Duomo. I'm not sure. I might be wrong. Is that? No, I think it's St. Peter's Basilica, actually. Actually, vlog, that is the Duomo. we're just joking. I think you missed the joke.
Hey, look at that
From
pointy
earlier.
tower. 10 points to that pointy tower.
10 points to the pointy tower.
For the person who knows the pointy tower.
Oh yeah.
Are we just gonna invite the pointy tower to play Ticket to Ride with us later?
Hopefully, that's the pointiest tower here. It's one
Yeah.
of
Do
my
you know
favorite towers.
what the pointy tower is?
I have no idea what that pointy tower is. I'll let Garrett take all the.
Yeah.
I'll let Garrett take all the.
Yeah, well, it looks like a
the
church,
score
but I don't know
for
what
that.
We've never. It is a church. We haven't visited it though, and I've really only talked about it like maybe once. So if you knew, I would actually be super
The
impressed.
thing is, I mentioned it as one of my things, but we never said where it was or what it looked like. So.
David said it was hard to get to.
Yeah. That,
Oh, is it that thing he can never find?
Yeah, that's
And you have to go through a building?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
the Badia.
Ah,
That's the pointiest tower.
the Badia, is there like a body in it?
No, it's BADIA. How about that dome over there? Do you know what that is?
The second Duomo. No.
It's close. It's San Lorenzo.
San Lorenzo.
That's where the Medici chapels are.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of
Ooh,
cool.
There, right? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Cool.
I like San Lorenzo.
I like to like look into these people's apartment over here.
Yeah, I know, right?
All of these like rooftop. They had a ton of like little rooftop balconies in Venice that you could see when you climb the tower, and it's just like, oh, I'm like so jealous. It's
I
making
know.
me sick of your life. Like,
I have such hardcore terrace envy. It's like not even a joke.
I mean, we have some really great balconies, but like there's no balcony like the balcony that you can see the Duomo from. You
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we can see the bay, but that's not the Duomo.
Yeah.
We got some plants. They're not Italian plants. This is cool.
Yep. Not bad.
The wait was worth it. It was
Yeah.
drama filled, but worth it.
I like how they're like talking about the war mechanisms.
Oh, of course they are.
Such boys.
Well, Garrett was in the military, so he's super interested in that. And like,
Yours has a reason. I just like torture devices. Yeah.
it's really pretty. So they just dump like hot oil out of this? What is this?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Oh, that's cool.
Is it open? How's it?
Can't close it.
So the fact that this has bars that are angled, is that better or worse, David?
I feel fine because of the walkway, you know?
Oh, okay. It's a nice view. So it's Santa Croce right there.
Yes.
And that's the area where our secret bakery is. But I won't disclose the exact location of the secret bakery. if you really want it. Wander around Santa Croce.
That's right there. Do you know what building that is? That tower right there?
I mean, it's Santa Croce.
That's the one right next to the Badia is the Bargello.
Okay.
That's the museum that we went to.
Oh.
The one
The,
with
the
the
first one we went
Donatello.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so make sure to,
What?
I don't know, be safe.
It's safe.
Everyone just be safe. Be safe. Calm down, Jada. It's not that bad. God, you're such a win.
We can still go up.
Can we?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
God.
more up edge.
There's more uppage. There's more
I
steps.
seriously thought this was like game. Alright.
I don't understand why I volunteered for this death march. I don't understand, like, why I'm voluntarily climbing another medieval tower. Or I guess a Renaissance tower.
No, I mean, it might have been when this was...
Oh, there were not many steps. Okay.
Oh, but we...
I approve.
Oh, no, we can't go all the way up.
Oh. Yeah, that looks... This is neat. Yeah, son. That's the Arno River. Garen Courtney. David.
Yeah.
He's the most chill out of all of us.
Guys, just relax. It's not even that big of a deal.
No deal here.
You guys are just needing to go high.
So, it's pretty cool. So the top is pretty boss. Definitely worth the wait and maybe the climb. I don't know.
No.
Too many death marches that we've been on. No, I'm just kidding. It's really pretty. Tuscany is a really pretty country. I'm vlogging, yeah. And back down. At least there are handrails here though.
Yeah.
Less plunge to your death like when there are handrails. Alright, so we're at the Piazza de Signoria behind the Fountain of Neptune, which is so appropriate, by the way.
Yeah.
And there's this public fountain, and I've talked about them in Venice, but this one's labeled Naturale and Gasita, and it gives you sparkling water out of a public fountain, and it's amazing. So you press a button, and it like fills your water bottle with sparkling water. That is brilliant. It's like a $10 bottle.
Secret puzzle.
So, apparently the Firenze card, buying it gives you like free Wi-Fi. There's free Wi-Fi in public spaces in Florence, which is ballin'.
Yeah.
But the Firenze card apparently gives you a different access, maybe better Wi-Fi. We're gonna test it out. But, so we have a few like papers and we were looking at them. And on this one, it was like, oh, here's the Wi-Fi code. So I typed it in and we all had slightly different ones. And it was like, no, that's not right. So Garrett was like, oh, try the serial number on your card, which doesn't say anything about Wi-Fi password, and that's it. Like, so it goes back to what David was saying. Everything in Italy is slightly inconvenient.
Yeah.
So you get Wi-Fi, but you have to like puzzle out why you get it. It's like really a trick to make sure too many people are on your Wi-Fi network. So we're at a restaurant that has multiple Michelin stars, and like they gave us this like thing to cleanse our palate, and
Chunks in there of something.
yeah. So I'm that's Garrett's face after he eats a bite. I'm the only one at the table who like honestly likes it. It's like a strawberry sauce that's like savory, not sweet.
Yeah.
It's a little sweet, and then this is some sort of herb ice cream and poppy seed.
But I can't. I don't think I can. I don't think I can.
I'll eat it for you.
I don't think you're supposed to eat it all. I really do think it's like a few spoonfuls to. So you just have to make it look like you had something. It's very interesting.
I did.
I've cleansed my palate with the wine.
Like, am I the only one that's honestly into this ice cream?
Yes, I think so. I'm eating it pure curiosity.
Like, I'm honestly into this. It's like herbs. It's like I'm eating frozen herbs and I like it.
That is refreshing.
That wine is disgusting.
Yeah, I agree. That's the
I
weird
will
part. I'll
trade
eat
you
this.
once you're done with that.
I mean, like, it's strong, but
I guess for me, it's just like the whole conflict, like the taste of all the different flavors I'm getting at once.
I feel exactly how you do. Like, I feel exactly how you do, but I honestly feel like I'm never going to have something like this again.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm just gonna go ham.
Just go ham on it.
I got a few more chunks.
they're like chunks of strawberry or something.
But whatever.
Like-
Yeah, go find one and then see how it is.
Look, I'm into this, okay? Like, I don't know why I like this so much.
You're the weirdest person. I don't know how you like this.
It's so good. It tastes so good.
I don't know what to think of it. Hey, but how's your palate?
It's refreshed. It's ready. This is so good. I love it.
You're so excited.
It's so unique. The flavors are so fascinating.
I ate mine.
It would be like maybe that over.
Courtney took mine, so it looked like she ate it.
But just
And I'm gonna eat hers.
like,
Because I honestly,
oh, I wasn't such a.
I love this.
It's like so cold pressed. You must have a refined palate.
I don't know if I have a refined palate or I just really enjoy herbs and eating
I
them.
need to finish it the same way I did.
I think I'm gonna finish 2 people's.
I did pretty good. I did pretty good.
I mean, not for like the fact that it was a scoop.
Oh man,
There's not very much of it.
this is like concentrated evil. That was like.
So this is my cheese and pepper spaghetti, and it looks so good. Once again, this is a Michelin restaurant. And ooh,
The scallops,
yes.
I will leave in the middle here. Roasted scallops with an emulsion of a green apple, spinach, and lardo di caponata. Can I give you 2 plates?
Yes, that would be.
Yes, I give you.
So good. And that's Garrett's Valentini with red wine. So, also I found out that the ice cream is actually made with caper and herb. So good. And I'm the only one that liked it, but I also like caper, so.
Oh my goodness.
This looks magical.
I'm just.
So,
Like 3 in Florence, I think.
that's cool.
Wow.
So, like, this is our. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
This is our scallops. This sauce is a celery emulsion. This is made from green apples, and they brought us some bread, focaccia, and stuffing from poppy seed. And apparently, the poppy seed is so good. And David has this whiskey, which is apparently amazing. And I've tried it. It is really good.
Yeah.
And Garrett and I have these pastas, so
Are we
A+,
supposed to just
A+.
eat the whole thing?
Ravioli with cheese and some ham, maybe? I don't know.
Smoked polenta, I think.
Yeah.
Sheep placenta. Yes.
I mean, I'm sure it looks really good. So that's Courtney's. It arrived after the appetizer.
It's super hot.
Yeah.
I'm still
David's
trying to
still-
eat my main.
David. So Courtney made us reservations at this one restaurant, and she forgot that it had 3 Michelin stars over 3 separate years. You know, 2015, 2016, 2017.
Was it a 3?
So.
It had 1 star,
1 star
for each year.
for each year. So we just had dinner at a Michelin star restaurant. It was really good. It was so good. They had like I vlogged it, but that weird ice cream that I'm the only one that liked the caper and herb ice cream and the macerated strawberries that sometimes taste like a tomato.
Yeah.
But I liked it. And it was so good. My dinner was really good. Everyone's dinner was good.
All of our dinner were like fantastic.
Like crazy excellent. And yeah, David's liquid diet was great. It was a good whiskey. And definitely that was awesome. That was a crazy experience. that I definitely would like to repeat.
Yeah.
So,
But in the future.
in the future. But it was very good, and they had really good bread too that they brought us. Like a poppy seed bread. It was crazy. It was so good.
I don't think the place for tomorrow is, we don't have reservations for, so we can always change it up if we want to, but it's definitely not that level at all.
Are you sure now?
Yes.
Are you sure you
It's
didn't accidentally book the
it's
other Michelin Star?
Osteria de Pazzi, the one that
The
we...
Scandal restaurant.
Yes, the one that we walked by before. And yeah,
So it's either the crazy restaurant or the restaurant that tried to kill the Medicis.
yeah,
But
exactly.
it didn't exist then. It was just the family. So, yeah. But that was really good. Thank you for taking us there.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it.
It was really fun and tasty. And now I've had caper ice cream.
Yeah, yeah. How many people can say that?
You know, probably not many. Those shoes are so sparkly.
Because they live under the bridges.
So this is the Palazzo Vecchio at night
Bridge.
that you're seeing, not this bridge that we're on. And it spans the River Arno. And Courtney and David were saying there are a lot of bats here at dusk because they live under the bridge. So it's really pretty at night.
Yes.
I give it like an A+. I mean, I give the bats an A+ too because they eat mosquitoes and I hate mosquitoes. So,
I know, I was looking at that.
like the typical American tourists that we are, this is our second gelato of the day. We had a pre-dinner gelato and now we're having a post-dinner gelato.
Delicious.
Yeah, that's pretty A+. And I got my new favorite, hazelnut and the pistachio. Pistachio has always been my favorite, so. And the hazelnut's good. I used to go for the pistachio and coconut, but I don't know, this hazelnut. Garrett got like a lemon sorbet,
Pineapple.
pineapple gelato thing. And you know what it tastes like? Kind of a Dole Whip
Yeah, a little
from
bit.
Disney. And they got chocolate and coconut.
So once again, we forgot to record an outro.
Well, we thank you for watching the video, and we hope that you like and subscribe, and hopefully tune into the next ones.
Yeah, so enjoy this picture of Florence that I took from the top of one of the mini towers Courtney found for us to climb. And if you want to see another video, one should have popped up on your screen by now. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye!
Have a great day.